What's up, guys? Matty here, mixandmastermysong.com. Today we are going to check out the long-awaited new DAW from Universal Audio, Luna. Really pretty special. I've been playing with it all day. A lot of cool features. We'll go over all of it. We'll load some tracks. We'll get into it. Let's go. All right, guys. So here is Luna in all of its glory. Very straightforward DAW. Kind of first impression is they made a great DAW that's very simply laid out, but does everything you need it to do. I really dig it, just for using it for about a day now. Of course, there's a lot of room for growth, but I like it so far, so good. Let's jump right in and load some tracks, and then we'll start playing around with things, and I'll kind of show you guys around. I'm just going to dump these stems here from this beat from my boy Meekins. And now, as you notice, I just drag and dropped them in. First thing it does, which is really cool to me, it says the tempo is 80. Do you want to change it to current session? Yes, I do. And that is the correct tempo. Now, hard to tell if that will work for every single song, but that was pretty special that it's already got the tempo and I don't have to go searching for tempos. I dig that a lot right out the gate. Next, what I usually do when I first get files is I like to color code them. So really dig the way Luna does that. You just click on the color coding just like you would in any track, and this color wheel comes up. Now what's cool about the color wheel is it will put the ones you use all the time in this bar right here, which is great because I use the same 4 colors for just about everything. So, my 808s are usually like a purple blue, and then drums are yellow, so I can just go through and click the colors, right? So there's my clap, bongo, hi-hat, those are all going to be yellow. Boom, easy. Also right here, now I know most DAWs have this, but it's just super intuitive and really clearly laid out doing it here. And I can really move quickly to color code everything just like this, just by shift and clicking the 3 tracks at a time, color code them. And then when I'm done with that, I can drag them how I like them, which is drums, bass, drums, music, and then vocals, which we don't have in this song. And I'm good to go. I'm ready to mix. Now that is probably one of the fastest load-ins I've done ever. And that says something about the software, that the way that works is really good. As far as getting around it, it's a lot like Pro Tools. Well, not a lot like Pro Tools. Well, the software feels like Pro Tools. They also use a lot of the Pro Tools shortcuts. So if you were a Pro Tools guy trying this out, you're going to be psyched because a lot of the shortcuts like zoom in, zoom out, Command E separates things. A lot of those shortcuts you're already going to be in. So this was super easy for me to get into because, I use Studio One and Pro Tools, but I use Pro Tools shortcuts in Studio One. So all I've known all my life are Pro Tools shortcuts. So it made it like we're using this program very fast. You got all your different channels here, and we'll get into this. We'll get into all the different editing stuff in a bit. But let's quickly check out the mix section. So got a couple different views. There's your edit. There's your mix. This allows you to hide different things that you might want or not want. You can get into all that when you're checking it out at home, but it's cool to have those options. And then you have your input. So if you have mics or the summing, which I'll show you guys, is on input. Then tape, which if you don't have tape or don't want tape, you can get rid of it right here, or input. But we'll get into tape too. Then you have inserts, which are your plugins, sends, and then a Q mix if you're recording for headphones, and then your main output. Now for us, they have this section here which gives you a bunch of different options on how you view things. So we're not going to be using Qs on this. We might be using some inputs, but now we can select just what we might be using for this session, which is cool. And you can also open it and close it like this, which makes it even more compact. And then, okay, I want inserts or I just want sends, which is cool. I kind of like it open for now. You can make it smaller and larger. And once I load some tape plugins, I'll show you guys about that. or you can have fixed slots, which is kind of more like a Pro Tools thing where you have your 8 slots here, 8 slots here. I haven't checked to see if you can get more than 8 slots. I'm assuming since they only got 8 here, you can only get 8, but who knows. So that's that. So now let's check out this tape thing, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be probably pretty interested in it. Now, when you click tape, you get an option. I own the Studer plugin, right? So that is an option for me. If you don't own it, I think you have to pay for it, but you can use Oxide. I believe that is free. And so what you do is you just click on it, and boom, there you go. It comes up over here. And you can add saturation and turn it on and off, but if you go over here and go to large, you get more options with high frequency driver and the repo EQ. So a lot of different ways you can look at everything. I kind of like it smaller. And then if you want to edit this down even more on the plugin level, you can double click on the plugin, change your IPS, change your tape speed, change your calibration, open it up, other settings here. So pretty intuitive on how you can use this, and it sounds cool if you put it on all the different tracks, which we could do actually really quick. Let's go here and shift and select all our tracks, hit add, go to Studer, and there it is on every single channel. I'll play it for a second and turn it on and off so you guys can hear the difference with, you know, tape on all of it. So that's pretty cool. You can see, because I have everything except the 808 selected, I can turn them all on and off. I can turn the saturation up on all of them. That's universal on anything, plugins too. So pretty cool that you can universally do a bunch of different things and hear the difference. And you heard the tape, it actually sounds cool and better. Maybe works for some things better than others, but it's cool to have that option there. But if you don't want the tape, you're not going to use it, just hide it and it's gone. So really cool how they implemented that. Now the next thing, and you guys have probably read about this Neve summing that they got. That works on a bus level. So you can't, this is where you add it under your inputs. You can't add it on single tracks, but if you guys follow me at all, you know that I like to bus out my drums, music, vocals, and bass to different sub-auxes to mix further there. So I can select all 4 here and then click on main, and you'll see this new menu pops open, right? So we're going to go to routing, add a routing, and it's going to come up with a bus. And you can select how many you need, stereo, and the name, we're going to call this drum aux, and you can see it has this console option, Neve summing. Now, if you know UAD, they'll probably have a 10 consoles in another couple of years, but right now we just got the Neve one, or you can do it without a console. So that's an option in the bus menu, which is kind of cool. So we click OK, and you see a bus came up. New bus showed up here, right next to the drums, and this Neve summing thing came on. Now, this is not included, and it's a $300 plugin right now. I was a little bummed out. I was hoping, since I owned a bunch of the Neve stuff already, that would be part of it, just kind of like the Studer was. Not the case. It's a new kind of whole new plugin. You got to pay for it. But it's cool. It sounds cool. It's got that Neve sound to it. I'll just solo the drums and turn it on and off so you guys can hear it really quick. So cool. It gives you that sound right away. Maybe we'll do a video in a week or two, or a couple days, who knows, with a bunch of different tracks going through summing auxes so we can really hear the difference of what the summing's doing. Super cool feature. I dig it. I wonder if when they modeled it, if each one sounds a little different. That's why I'd like to kind of check it out, with more summing, more options, but I don't want to make this video 4 hours long. So that is that. Now, the last thing over here we can do, and also super intuitive. Oh, one thing to mention, notice how this aux turned green, right? Here our drum aux is green. A little confusing because all my musics are usually green. But you look here and it labeled it drum aux, and it sent those all there on their own, which is a huge plus already. But it colors them green. So now we can kind of like, we have different colors for things. It's just the way they did this program, everything's really clear and easy to understand and well thought out and laid out. So really kudos to Universal Audio for doing that. But if you like your buses all red or something, boom, you can switch that there, and now your drum aux is different and the colors of the buses are different. So little details that for me go a long way. So that's that. All right, so there we go. That's our edit window. Now let's check out the mix window. All right, so here is actually the edit window. I think I just called the mix window and the edit window the wrong one, but you guys probably are smart enough to know the difference. But here is our edit window, and really well laid out as well. So I can select this and it will loop, plays from right there. Let's get our solo off. And I can do short keys, which is cool. And it's just like Pro Tools, really ready to go. So here is the different windows. Now, really cool right off the gate. We can select all our tracks, right? Shift select 808. Now everything's selected, right? The two things you see on the actual files are this volume and then this semi. Now, just like most programs, you can turn them all up and down, gain all the different files up and down, which is super useful. I use that every day. Thing that most programs don't have, though, is this semi. Now, what this means is you can actually pitch all or some of each file right from the window here, which is cool. So check it out. So pretty cool. This kind of got a little funny, but lots of cool ways you could use that. I mean, you can do that in any program, but it takes a few more steps. Really dig how they did that. I mean, you could do, screw sections, chopping screwed sections, all kinds of stuff. Really cool the way they set that up and how you can do that. I hope they add more kind of features to that. The one thing they don't have, and like this is version 1, so I wasn't expecting everything, but there's no sort of audio suite or event effects here. So if I want to RX7 this file, or if I just want to EQ this snare just on this part and process it, so far I haven't found a way for that to be done. Maybe there is, but I searched pretty deep in this thing and couldn't find it. So maybe that will come, along the way. But once you're on a track, you can control click here, and you get all your, just like any other program, you get your different options. New version, you can duplicate it. Now we have 2 versions of this 808, right? I like the way they do it. They have these, where is it? View, delete version, track versions 1 and 2. Really simple. I didn't name it like 808 duplicate 5, 6, and like all that stuff. No, version 1, version 2 keeps it really easy to keep in line with your different tracks you're using. Then you get down here, you get view, clip, warp, and all tracks, only selected tracks, show hide, track files, tempo or time, or delete. Now, if we go back to view here, you'll see this is where your automation stuff is. Now, when you click volume, you'll see that the volume automation comes up. Let's open this up a little more. This is control and option and up and down. You can zoom in and out. Now, you see now we have our volume automation. And then if you click here, suddenly it pops up in this window here. That's cool and all. I wish they just had like a scroll down pop-up window that you could switch, from volume to mute. You don't have to go all the way over here. Not a big deal, but kind of unnecessary real estate, in my opinion, to put it over there. But, like I said, version 1 stuff. So let's go to volume. Really easy to automate in here. You go up to the line, double click. If you need to make a breakpoint, and you can just drag, move things around. Really simple. I like the way it works. One thing I'm noticing is you can't see the volume as you're turning it. Maybe I wish they could, we could tell what what level we're at, but like I said, version 1 stuff. I'm sure that will come. You can select it and delete your automation. So pretty basic, but good automation. It does also have a volume trim, which I'm not sure why that doesn't show up here, but it is what it is. Volume trim where you can, trim stuff as well. And that won't, mess with your actual fader. So cool to have both those options. Other than that, you got your signature, tempo, basic stuff, bars, beats, all stuff you guys can check out on your own. Basic transpo, start and length. This is actually a great feature that I use a lot when I'm doing edits and mixing. Is you select it and it shows you how many bars that is, 8-bar length. That's a Pro Tools thing. Global stuff, turn all your reds, clear your meters, solo mute, record, input. Monitor stuff, workflow stuff. Now this is cool too. So if you click on these, it will give you different options of things you can do. So toggle mix workflow, toggle edit workflow, okay? So here's your edit workflow, and then you have these different edit options. MIDI, if you're doing MIDI, this would give you different things for MIDI, keyboards, all that. So recording, cues, pre-rolls that you would need, which track you're arming, edit, cut, copy, paste, your basic edit stuff, fades, and then mix, which just gives you the basic mix thing. Now, then you can switch back and forth from those two and just hit them this way as well, or go over there. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure that will kind of get developed more as time goes on. I didn't get a chance to play with the MIDI stuff, but I'm sure someone will make a video about it. You know me, guys, I mostly do mixing and stuff like that. So that is the basic overview of Luna. I think they've done a fantastic job making this. For version 1, I think it's super special. This thing could grow. I could definitely see them taking out some other, DAWs out there, or at least taking them on and giving them a run for their money. Like I said, I need Audio Suite. If I was to use this as a main mixing platform, I need some Audio Suite stuff. I hope that they eventually incorporate ARIA, which, brings Melodyne and Vocaline and all that stuff into it. I would need that stuff in order to really fully mix in a program like this. But other than that, I think they've done a fantastic job getting it going. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, I'm going to make some more videos on Luna. If you got any things you'd really like to dive deeper in, let me know in the comments below. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com, and I'll see you guys soon.